It's deep right here. You don't want to be where the boats are. You understand?
So where do I go?
You have full control of this craft. The rudder control system is right here, left and right. And then if you want to go forward, just pedal forward, in reverse, pedal in reverse. If you get too close, you're gonna have to open this up right there to bring the drive up. Beware of the boats.
Goodbye!
Oh my God, you're hot. Look, Andres, like I didn't even teach him how to use a kayak properly, and he's like, let me catch a first fish. Andres, wait.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I touched it, man. I touched it, but it's on the right. It's on the right. There you go. He caught it. He caught it by himself. This is incredible, man.
Do I turn this off?
No, record me.
I'm going to record the pelican.
No, let's go find a fish.
The pelican is the star of the show.
Yeah, but nobody can see the star of the show if you keep moving the camera like that, like all up and down. Oh my God. I think there's a boat coming. Let's get out of the way. Follow me. This is why you kayak fish. Look, I got Andres over there. He never listens, ever. Right, Andres? Like, you have to tell him 10 times to do X. And yet I trust him to be on that boat because it's so stable. Stand up, Andres. You're fired.
You
Anita.
have to say it 10 times. That's a joke. Say it 7 more times.
No, you're too late. You're in the mangrove. Look, you didn't listen. You're in the mangrove.
Let's go.
I can't believe you got out of there, dude. This is 10 times multiplied by 1. That's 10. Stand up. Jump. Jump. Don't hit yourself. I said jump. So guys, that's an Old Town Sportsman 106 PDL. First time it touches the water. We just got it in today, and we wanted to make this trip with sun coming down here in the Keys, but I didn't think of other variables like jet skis ruining our video. Usually there's a cuda waiting to bite at this time of the day.
Be careful though, because they are, you know, crocs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Andres? There's croc over there. Thank you, man. And this is where Daddy would throw a joke. You'll never catch me because your boat is smaller than mine, and it's the same width, so you'll never catch me. Oh shoot, I said you will never catch me. You just hit me. I can't believe you did it, man. Even with the rudder up. Andres, record. Andres, record. Andres, record. Acura, Andres. Let me give you sort of like an overview, like a quick pass through of this boat so you could take it in to see how it looks. This thing is compact. This thing is tiny, but let not that fool you because this thing is powerful. Like, I would say this is probably all the kayak you need. I mean, I'm not saying exactly this one, but I'm saying in terms of space, of size, speed, usability, a 10-foot kayak may be all you need. Well, this is 10 and a half if you're keeping count exactly. But this Old Town PDL 106 is a proven kayak in the market. It's been out for probably 3 years now. And before that, it was a top water version in 2019, something like that. We have a lot of videos on that kayak, but this one is the Sportsman version. And I want to give you a full walkthrough of it because, see, I've been waiting like 3 years to make this video, man, because I wanted to update my content. That's why I asked Old Town to send this boat over so I can make this video for you guys. But let's start right here. You see that rudder? Let me show you. Let me show you so you appreciate it. See there? It comes kind of like with a built-in handle. That's cool. But not only that, right here in the rear, you got a shallow anchor mount system. 3/4 inch that you could put your power pole, or even better, you could put a Bisbee there. We're gonna do that. You know we're gonna do that. You know we're gonna Bisbee side this kayak pretty soon. So here in the rear, you got a kind of like a sacrificial plate Hope you can see it there. Anyways, don't worry, we're gonna flip it over so you see everything. But look at this, look at this. Look at the giant tongue wheel. Look at how much space you got on this boat. This is incredible, dude. And I'm trying to fight this gimbal right here. It's just wanna do his own thing. Anyways, you could put a black pack here. You could put a nice cooler, and I'm gonna give you shots of that. We're gonna do some kind of like testing for that so you can see. Back here, you see you have 2 flush mounted rod holders that are pretty useful, and I love the fact that they're kind of angled. I do wish Old Town refreshed this design a little bit and put some gear tracks in the rear. Like, we're missing some gear tracks right here. There's plenty of space that you could put a gear track. You could do it aftermarket, but it would be nice if, I mean, this is a $2,500 kayak. If it already comes with that would be even better. So moving forward, this rod holder here that is looking forward, look, that thing is very useful. You know why? Because if you're changing lures, if you just caught a fish, you want a place to park your rod next to you. You don't want to be like reaching back or anything like that. So that's super cool, man. So you see right here, you got 4 scupper holes to let the water out. Because you know, kayaks are wet, dude. And water splashes. Look at, this is a tall kayak compared to others. Look at how thick that is. But it's a kayak. Any little wave is going to put water inside the boat, or I would say on top of the boat, and you want that water to get out. Now, a lot of people complain about Old Town not offering the scupper plugs anymore, but they're not expensive, and the truth is a lot of people don't use them, like myself. You see those scupper plugs right there? You can get them aftermarket if you want. I don't think that's a valid complaint, really, because, I mean, this is a premium US-made kayak, so, hey, you know, they already give you a lot of stuff. So if we continue here, you see this is to deploy and bring that rudder up, and over here you got this little hatch which gives you access inside the boat. Now I'm gonna remove this safety strap for the seat. Oh, this gimbal is trying to fight me here. What's up? Don't I have enough that I have to make a video? Now I have to fight the gimbal. Anyways, this is a nice place to store kind of like a amp-hour lithium battery to power your fish finder. You got everything so close to you. Look at this. You got the center hatch right here. You could get easy access in the rear of the boat if you want to tinker with stuff. You want to put an out something there. Or you could use that to kind of like do a battery base for your electronic if you want to run a 21-inch Garmin, or better yet, Humminbird unit, because you know what? This is Humminbird County, dude. Old Town, Minn Kota, Humminbird are the same family. So if you want to run the same family, hey, rock it out. So you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's keep going. So I really like this little hatch right here. I'm not a big fan of open hatches, but hey, Old Town, they make some quality seals, dude. Like, we're gonna flip this kayak over soon, and you're gonna see how much water it gets inside. Not a lot. So moving forward, my gimbal is again fighting me. Over here, you get a cup holders with a nice cutout, so you can let the water out. This is cool. Look at this. You can let the water out right there. I hope they do that for the other kayaks, like the autopilots. Over here, you see you have a handle and the fancy seat. Oh my God, look at this seat. This is very comfortable, man. When it's new, you're gonna hear a little bit of like things like this, but there are things that you could do to minimize the sound if you hate it. But over time, it's gonna stretch out. It's gonna be fine. Moving forward, at least you get 2 gear tracks right here. These are like 18 inches gear tracks. And depending on the color that you get, they're different colors. They may be black or orange. And I see a lot of people want to change it for metal gear tracks. You could get that aftermarket if you want. And you have the trusted drive. That drive has been in the market for many, many years. It has a 5-year warranty. It's almost maintenance free, although anything, everything requires maintenance. So, But anyways, that drive is super fast. It works amazingly on this boat. And it's a powerful drive. And 5-year warranty gives you that peace of mind. Incredible stuff. And one of the cool things Old Town has is that it has this little wide super opening right there. So you could like use this as storage. And that allows the drive to to float. Like if for some reason it gets dropped, it's not gonna sink. This right here holds the drive down. And I'm gonna give you a little shot of how it looks. But that thing is not going anywhere. I mean, it's nice that it floats, but you don't have to worry about this thing going anywhere. So what we're gonna do here, I mean, this is such a small kayak that it's very difficult to like go step by step. You want to jump ahead and come back because it's so small. Here on the side, you see that pouch. You could put like a super tiny box or something like that, or your pliers or things. I do wish for the future model is whenever that comes out, if ever, that Old Town would make it a little longer so you could put like a nice, decent sized tackle box. Here in the front, we got another access point. This is again, I'm not a big fan of open hatches like this, but Old Town really, really knows what they're doing. Look at the seals over here. Like, dude, little water is gonna get in here. And look at the lip. Like, this thing is designed to take little water, if any. So I'm okay. And these bungees, you could make them stronger if you want. You could just cut out a little piece of this and just make it better. Now here in the front, I really enjoy how Old Town did this. Why? Because I got some crazy ideas. And I cannot tell you because somebody's gonna steal my idea. And then I'm gonna look like I'm the one who's copying everyone when I'm the original, dude. Well, sometimes I'm the original. But anyways, my point is, I like that this thing over here has quarter insert inside there. And then here, crazy ideas, dude. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see some crazy stuff, because some crazy stuff is gonna come in 100%. So here you got the standard Old Town paddle holder. And why do I have a Pelican paddle? Well, I sort of like broke my Old Town paddle and I miss it because it was one out of a kind and I'm sad now. Thank you for reminding me. Anyways, over here on the other side you got another handle. So you got two, and I love handles in the middle like that because I could easily secure the boat to the truck easy without having to go crazy figuring out how am I gonna put a strap through, you know? So under the seat, you can see you have a little space for tackle management. That's super cool. Now, I want you to appreciate this design from over here. And I'm sorry if the angles are crazy. It's just that this thing, man, I don't know how to freaking balance this. Let me show you. I hope you get it. Can you see it? Yeah, you probably see it. Yeah, that's how I look behind it. This is stabilizer, just crazy stuff. So I wanted to, work, stabilizer, don't get crazy. So I wanted to like do this and then come over here and sort of like give you that look. Whoop. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, boom, there you go. You see? You bring it down and you could bring it up. I don't have this thing in a nice setting, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. You get the idea. Look, look at my filming setup. It's gonna like fly all the way and it's gonna fall and hit the ground like crazy, because, you know. Anyways, that Malone card you see right there, that thing is epic. I even used it the other day to carry a solo skiff. You should totally buy it, link below. So what I'm gonna do now is I wanna flip it over and sort of give you a walkthrough of the bottom of this boat and tell you a little bit about the specs and also whatever other things comes to my mind. Did I miss anything? Yes, I did. Now look at this. That is the rudder control. It's only on your left, but it also has kind of like a tensioning thing right there. You see, you could give it tension so the rudder is not gonna be doing that much. But I do wish we had like at least a choice to put on either side, or two of them. Why not? Now the cool thing right here about Old Town and the way they do the rudders, this is so nice because it's just threaded, it's screwed in. You're gonna have the perfect connection to your rudder control. Not only that, not only the perfect connection, but dude, it's so easy to install, it's crazy. It's not like a rope that you have to be doing stuff. Now, one of the negatives is it's a cable. Salt water, it's gonna rot. Over the years, you're gonna have to replace those cables. But don't worry, no fears. You could easily remove this, the rudder control, and change the cables. So you only got one flat sitting position, right? There is no up and down. So of course you could move the strap back and forward and move the seat all the way forward. And you see there, I have it there almost at the end. But this boat is so small, even a little kid will be fine just pedaling with this boat. Now, let's go ahead and flip the seat over, and I want you to appreciate, you see that there? That right there is premium padding. Really comfortable, really nice to stand up barefoot on that, really nice. Over here under the seat, you see that you have storage area if you want to put those bigger plane of vases. Just make sure they're watertight because you got two scooper holes, so it's gonna get wet, dude. Now, let's go ahead and flip the boat over. So, alright, so I'm basically just lifting the boat. No drive though. But you can see, you could lift it. That's my left. I'm gonna do my right. You could lift it with one hand. I mean, if I could do it, you probably could do it too. So let's go ahead and remove my fancy super trusted cart out of the way. And I'm a little tired already. Just go ahead and flip it. Oof, that hurt. It's probably gonna crash. Not fair, dude. Take care of your stuff, man. Yeesh. This is super cool. You see that? Those cutting right there? Moldering handles. And they're super nice, man. Easy on your hands. It's like, I don't know what they do, but like this plastic's smooth, dude. It's nice. And this thing is fighting me again. Look at the design of this hole. Look at that. That hole is so stable, dude. It is incredibly stable. Super nice stuff. So we go forward here. You see that you have 4, 8, 10 plus 1 scupper holes. That is 11. This one is the 11th one. You see what it is? That is where your transducer is gonna go. That's where your cable for the transducer is gonna go through. And you have another sacrificial plate right there in the front, which is super cool, man. And look at the size of that thing. You got a lot of space, man. Now you gotta watch out for the drive, but you could probably, I mean, this is like what? 9 inches right there. 9 to 10 inches right there. So measure your transducer, see if it fits. This boat is 10.5 feet long by 36 inches wide. It is that wide because it needs to be for stability. It's super stable, dude. This thing can hold 450 pounds. That's incredible. That's a lot of weight. If you're a big guy and you want a tiny kayak, this may be the kayak for you. Anyways, this thing, just the weight, the fully loaded weight, drive, seat, boat, everything, it's 107 pounds. If you remove the drive and the seat, you're looking at 83-pound hull. A lot of weight, yes, but it's compact. And if you have this little cart right here, hey, dude, it's so easy to use this boat on and off the water. That is super incredible. Now, I guess the initial test of every single kayak is how stable it is. Can you just sit on it like this and stand? Didn't stand right away because you can see there it's a giant hole. Didn't have the space. It's a 10-foot kayak. So let's go ahead and take it out here, do a complete water demo of this 106 PDL Sportsman by Old Town. Let's go. And since we're at it, why not start with the paddling test? So I had this fancy paddle from Old Town, like they don't even sell it, carbon fiber, red paddle. Love the paddle. And I came here to do testing on another kayak, and I left the paddle loose on the bed of the truck and it fell and it broke, and it made me sad because that was one of the kind paddles. Now we're using this Pelican super long paddle because this kayak is 36 inches wide. I know this is a closed body of water, but there's a little bit of current here. But I feel great paddling this craft. It paddles very well. One of the things that you're gonna see when you get on an Old Town PDL kayak, like this one here, is look how much water you have on the deck, how much water is coming in. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's kind of refreshing now. Kind of like cleaning my feet. Just be careful, make sure there's no alligators in here that could jump through there. But that's one of the complaints that people have with the Old Towns, is that when you have to drive up, a lot of water comes through. But I say this and I keep repeating it, and I don't care. It is a kayak. You're gonna get wet. If you don't want to get wet, get a 36-foot boat and go in perfect weather condition. And these glasses keep falling. So you're gonna get a kayak, assume you're gonna get wet, because you will. I've seen some people put a plate in here and that will keep a lot of the water out. You could do that if you're gonna be paddling a lot. Man, I'm picking up speed, but you see there's a lot of water coming in here. So I think it's best to go ahead and close the drive up and and just paddle like that, because that will prevent a lot of that water coming in here. The drive comes with this support beam that you see there, and you can see clearly where it's labeled. That's what it needs to be. You should tie that up nicely, not like me who had it, didn't have it tied up. So you go here, you deploy deploy the drive, and you see that kind of like create a water seal. So there's a little bit of water on the deck from our previous paddling, but now I want to paddle with the drive down and see what happens to the water. I do feel a little bit of drag, not much. The problem with the drive down is that if you go through grassy areas, you're gonna hit grass for sure. But like, it reduces the water issue by 1,000%. Boom, it's no water issue. Still paddle very nice. You're not gonna break any records paddling a craft like this. If we start paddling slowly, just to move, we're going at 1.9 miles an hour. This is like super lazy paddling. I'm just putting the blade on the water and moving, and my phone keeps going dark. 2.4 miles an hour. So let's say you really want to get there, but you don't want to burn yourself. You want to give it a little bit of speed. 3.1, 3.2 miles an hour. So this is like a speed that you can maintain for a long time. And I bet you if you bring this up, maybe you get like 0.1 miles an hour, or at least it doesn't feel as hard, you know. We go here and you just want to crank it up, see what's up. You want to go really hard. 3.6, 4 miles an hour, 4.1 miles an hour. It said 4.5 miles an hour. Well, 4.5 miles an hour is not bad. The problem is you're not gonna keep it up. You're not gonna keep going at 4.5 miles an hour speed. If you're very strong, you may hit 5, but yeah, it's not a sustainable speed. So cruising speed, sustainable speed on this boat paddling, looking at 3 miles plus an hour. Now, you're not gonna buy this boat for paddling. You're gonna buy it for the drive. I need to go ahead and deploy the rudder, and then you just go here and you turn this. You see, rudder is down. This is why you buy this boat. That PDL unit has been tested through time and people like me. Years. Haven't broken one yet. Yeah, the pin may break, you may have to replace the prop, but like the unit itself, no. It's backed by a 5-year warranty, and that is huge. So I'm gonna be having this camera on my right, so I'm gonna move this one to my left. That way we got 2 different camera angles to choose from. And by the way, guys, we're using Yak Attack camera mounts, and we also use rod holder from Yak Attack. They make some really cool stuff, including the black pack in 3 different sizes and colors, which is amazing. So one of the selling points of this kayak for the drive compared to a Hobie kayak or one from Vive and the others is, you see what I'm doing here? I went in reverse instantly without even thinking about it. And this boat, I'm holding the rudder right here, as you can see, but it's tracking very nice in reverse. Cool stuff, man. Now, we just noticed one of the big disadvantages with the prop drive is the grass. I feel like I have grass in there already, and I cut through some of this grass right here. But one of the cool things that Old Town has that a lot of pro drive kayaks don't have is this. Watch this. Just gonna go ahead, and I don't have to align prop or anything. I just open it and I have space. That is why you got that giant hole right there, you see? So you could bring that drive up easy, no problem. And one of the amazing things that this has is and now I'm gonna let it go because I don't want to get it away from me. But you can see there I'm not holding it, right? It floats. This drive floats. So if you happen to, I don't know, for whatever reason, it falls on the water, it floats. But I can't get over how nice it is to just go in reverse with no issue whatsoever. And while we're in reverse, maybe we should test to see what kind of speed we get going reverse here on this boat. So right now we're just going super lazy speed. You can see it's 2.1 miles an hour. We're hitting some grass. I wonder if I have any grass in there. But let's say I need to crank it up for whatever reason. I need to get out of a tight spot in reverse. 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 3 miles an hour. And I keep hitting grass because I don't know where I'm going, right? So if you go in reverse, make sure you're looking behind or you have a really nice mirror, you know, that's gonna point you directly, that you know where you're going, right? You don't want to hit another kayaker. You don't want to get hit by a boat, so you know, be careful. You could probably hit 4 miles an hour if you really push it really hard in reverse, but who's gonna go and do a reverse type of race, you know? Probably me. See, this is one of the big selling points of a boat like this. Instant reverse, keeping position right there on the spot. You don't have to worry about see, we say hands-free fishing, but really you really have to hold the rudder, so it's not 100% hands-free fishing. If you want 100% hands-free fishing, motorize the boat and use steer with your feet or get an autopilot. So we're going here, I'm talking to you guys, super lazy speeds, 3 miles an hour, not doing much. I'm just cruising, man. Now, normal kayaking condition outside open water, reduce it by probably 0.5 miles an hour if conditions are really bad. Or normal condition, I would reduce it by 0.2 to 0.3 miles an hour. So if right now we're getting 3, you'll get 2.5 to 2.8 miles an hour on open waters, right? The beautiful instant reverse. And that's another thing we call instant reverse, but it's not so intense because first you gotta stop the forward motion and then start gaining ground going reverse. So it's not like instant in terms of speed. It is instant in the sense that you could change direction quickly. Like you could just stop and go forward at this point. Doesn't mean the boat is gonna go forward, but you don't have to do anything. Like you don't have to turn around, you don't have to switch a cable, you don't have to do any of that. You could keep fishing, doing what you need to do, staying on point. I just want to hit it kind of hard, but not super hard. We're gonna do the super fastest speeds at the end or towards the end, because you probably, I mean, I don't want you skipping around. So here is a pace that we could sustain, by we I mean me, probably for 10 minutes. 4 miles an hour, 4.3 miles an hour. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go super fast that way, and right about the time I'm gonna hit the grass, I want to turn hard to see if we could like 4.7 miles an hour, 4.5 miles an hour. I think it's gonna match 5.1 miles an hour. And I just did a quick turn. The rudder is all the way down. You gotta keep going forward because the boat is not gonna turn if you just stop, right? Wow. You can see the wake. It's not the super tight of turns, but it's good enough. It's good enough. It's not a bad turn. You could put a bigger blade on the back and turn sharper. If you could do that if you want, if you need that. I should do a full review video of this kayak, kind of like going over everything. But let's just stand up on it and kind of rock it so you guys see what kind of stability you have here. We're right here in the front. We sort of walk. It's kind of rocking because it's a 10-foot boat, but look at that. Look at that. Wow, this is crazy stable. We're gonna have to flip it though. Make sure to see how stable it is. I did a flipping video on this same model, but it's a different, like on this kind of like almost the same hole but a different name. So you want to go check it out, it's gonna be listed down in the description. But look at this, it's nice. I wanna sort of get to the shore and walk all the way there to see how shallow, see how much that nose digs in, because I have something I want to try on this boat. Let's go ahead, and having the hatch there is a problem. Okay, this is a problem. I don't want to fall. I don't want to like hurt myself or anything like that. Okay, So you see, I'm almost there. The nose is gonna start digging a little bit. Not bad. I mean, it digs in a little, but what I'm thinking of, and we need to test this, if I put a giant thing over there, I think there's a lot more surface volume on this boat than other boats, so it's not gonna dig in as much as something like the Shearwater 125 or the Makana or the SS 127. But we gotta test it out. We gotta test it out. Let me just give you some negative with this boat. I'm about to just hit ground. That's it. At this point, I either go to deeper waters if I have the ability to do that, or I have to raise the drive up. So you hit there. It's not like the Hobie ones that you could just feather the fins and keep going. You don't have that option here. The only option basically is lift the drive up and get the paddle. That is if you don't want to be lazy of lifting this, right? Because some people claim that, oh, with a Hobie you could like use it on 6 inches of water. Yeah, you could, but you're gonna make so much noise. You're gonna scare whatever fish you're trying to get, because you could just live in a giant trail. You're gonna probably break your fins. It's not worth to do it. You just take your paddle out and paddle. You could lift the fin, fold it if you want, but the usability of it is not there. Maybe if it's like just 2 inches that you need to go over, great. But other than that, I don't see that that's a giant win for that type of drive. Another negative that you have with a boat like this is that it's compact, so you're not gonna have as much speed, or at least not so much speed, but the cadence that you have on a longer boat. You're gonna have to put more effort on a 10-foot boat of any type than you would a 12-foot boat just to gain ground, you know, like you're gonna have to do it. But this drive is very fast. It's very easy on you. At least it's super easy on me. It's kind of like a bike. It feels really great. I love this little boat. I have used the 106 top water extensively, and I really enjoy fishing out of that boat because it was so light. I mean, it's heavy, but like it's so compact. I just used my long cart right there. Oh, that camera shut up, but I don't need it. I just used my long cart over there, and it's like a breeze, man. It's so small that you could put it pretty much anywhere. You may even be able to put this on an apartment. I don't know, measure it. But it's so easy to use this on the water and off the water that makes fishing enjoyable. And another thing is, if you just take what you need, you could reach out anywhere here. You don't have to go and like go crazy trying to reach something over there. You have space here. Like you can modify this boat, rig it up the way that you need it, and it's just gonna, sometimes it's just enough. Where would I use this boat is if I'm going offshore, if I'm gonna cover a lot of waters, maybe not. If I'm gonna stay close, I'm gonna fish not crazy waters, I'm probably taking this over a 12-footer or anything like that, because it has pretty much everything you need, really. I'm gonna put an affiliate link down below in the description for this kayak if you want to buy it. Hey, today we're gonna be comparing the Old Town 120 PDL, which is Old Town best-selling kayak, versus the 106 PDL. What do we have here? Not the Shearwater. That's gonna be a different video. This video right here, we got the 120 PDL on that red color, orange, whatever, and the 106 PDL. The 106 PDL is on that green type color. Old Town changed their colors. I think these colors are like gone, not sure exactly, but here are two kayaks that are like siblings. Let's go ahead and take a look at this kayak so you could appreciate them and see the difference. The 120 PDL, of course, is bigger. It's 12-footer. It's gonna allow you to chase bigger water. It's gonna allow you to take more things with you on the trip, and it also is gonna be a little more stable, and it's gonna be a little faster. But the 106 PDL is a 10-foot kayak that I think has everything you need. This boat, look at this, it's compact, it's fast because you have a drive, and you have everything close to you. You don't have to reach far back if you need something from your tackle box or your cooler, your backpack. It's right there. The seats are basically the same. The drives are basically the same. And the cockpit area is exactly the same. Where you start seeing some differences is right here in the back. The tank well on the 120 PDL is way bigger than 106. Both of them has shallow anchor plate, so you could put your power pole or maybe a motor if you want to do that. The rotor system are the same way. Got the paddle keeper on the left. You got the rotor control, drop down on the right. You got two flush mounted rod holders on the same location. You got that little Aliex tray right here if you want to put in a battery or something like that and run some cables through and power your fish finder. Have the same thing over here. You got this really nice Sportsman line seat that are very comfortable, durable. They're nice. They have breathable material, which is really nice. You don't get like, if you get wet, it's gonna drain out. Under the seat, you can see that you have sort of like a storage solution just on the seat itself. You see that pocket there, but also under the seat, you could drop in some tackle boxes and things like that. You got these pouches right here. You have the same over there on the 120, and the hatch here on the front where you get access to inside this boat if you want to work the fish finder, put a battery there to power it, and you have options here. And the drain plug also right here in the front. So these boats also have gear tracks. The gear tracks are 18-inch, and the color, they're like color match, like see, to create contrast. These are orange, those over there are black. They have the same, exactly the same thing, man. You got the handles in the middle, you got cup holders right here, cup holder right there. These boats are basically identical. The only difference really is that one, being 120, is bigger than the 106. So my question to you is, which one will you get? So it depends on really what you want. If you want a lot of storage, if you want more speed, if you want more stability, get the 120. If none of that is a factor, if you are fine with this, you're not covering long waters, you want to have an easier time working the boat on the water and off the water, the 106 PDL is an excellent package. Both of these boats that have like 5-year warranty on the drive and lifetime warranty, first owner on the hull of the boat, and they're built super nice, they're built to last, they're both super stable. I can't say enough about these boats. They're really good. Right here, if you look, you see you have a scoper hold right there. If I could focus my camera, if it let me do that. And then over here you have the same thing. The one I don't remove anything from this boat, so the 106 PDL comes with those plugs, which allows you to water to drain out and not come in. But I don't see that on the 120 PDL, so I'm assuming it doesn't need it or it doesn't come with it. Over here, you got that hole over there that you see is to put in your transducer cable, because you could run it through and then put the, just run it through here, that cut over there, and power your fish finder. And you have the same thing here on the 106 PDL. Let's take a look underneath to see how they look. One thing that you have to look at is, see here, this cavity on the 120 is way larger. So if you have a really long transducer, maybe the 120 will work better for you because the cavity is way larger. Let me just flip it around so you see what I'm talking about. See that? It's very long. That's like 20 inches or more, and over there is more like 9. So that is something to think about, because if you're running a transducer that is huge, you may want to have more space, so you're definitely going to have to go for the 120 PDL. But other than that, like everything else is pretty much just standard. It's pretty much the same boat. I'm quite impressed at, basically you're looking at the same boats. This is crazy, man. And I'm sorry if there's a little bit of noise or like stalling things over there. And of course, every time I'm about to film a video, that's when they start Right here we got the Vive Makana 100, and we're gonna compare it to the Old Town 106 PDL. Why? Because they're about the same length, 10 feet, and then maybe one is fatter than the other one, but the kayaker they have in mind for these two kayaks are basically the same person. So let's go ahead and let me get behind the camera and give you a full comparison walkthrough of these two boats, and I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents here and there, give you my own opinions about what I think about them and why one may be better for you and for certain things than the other. Let me start by saying how I got these two kayaks. This one right here, the 106 PDL, Old Town sent it over to make videos for you guys, and this one right here is not mine, but I may get a free one. How I got the kayak doesn't really matter. I'm gonna tell you what I think about them, and if I'm right or wrong, well, you know, whatever. So it's not based on, oh, you know, they gave it to you for free, so you're gonna say good things about it. No, we're past that. Like, I've never been like that. So it's like I have to say it on every video because I always get new people in, and of course, and people that don't believe me. But anyways, so these two kayaks, the main difference between them, and you're looking at it right now, is the drive system. You got a prop drive system here that you could instantly go in reverse, but it's much heavier, cumbersome, and not as easy to transport as this one here that doesn't go in reverse, but you can flip it and go in reverse. But that's the main thing, the main difference in terms of type of kayak. But there's a huge difference in price, and I'm gonna get to it why such a difference in price. Let's start right here in the rear of the boat. Look at this. They look kind of similar, right? Like that Vive Makana has a moldering handle. The 106 PDL also have the same thing. You have a handle right here in the rear, but then the rudder here on the 106 is a handle as well. You get that sacrificial skip plate right there. That's cool. So far we have a lot of similar things. Another thing that is similar on this boat is that those rudders, they made this boat turn on the dime basically, but there's more. Look, you got rear shallow anchor plate system. See, shallow water anchor mount. Now the difference on the 100 from Vive is that you got two, and I always ask Old Town, why not do the second one? I mean, you're already doing one, why not add the second one? Something that the Old Town is gonna win here is how you set up the rudder, because you got this thing that it cruises in, so it's gonna be a perfect connection. You're gonna be able to set this up the way you need to, the cables precisely tightened to the precise tension that they need. Over here, well, you kind of like have to like pull this thing, and this being a cable, not metal, it's gonna stretch, so you may have to adjust this. A lot of time what I see some people do is just put a screw through it and it's gonna hold it in place. So that's one of the things that the Old Town rudder system has over the Makana, is just the way that it's set up. Oh, now here's the thing, this being just a rope is not gonna get destroyed in salt water. This over here, you may have to replace these cables because they're gonna rust over time. I guess we call this a draw right here, now that I'm doing a competition. If we move forward, you see the tank well. Look at the tank well. Here on the Makana, you could put a cooler, a black pack. You could do the same here, but clearly you have more space. And let me remove the strap from my fancy Malone card right there that you see there. By the way guys, everything that has an affiliate link or is on sale, I'm gonna put it down below in the description. Again, affiliate links, if you buy it through there, we may get a little commission. So you can see that the 106 is a larger boat. It's 6 inches longer, so you have a little more space right here in the tank well as you do here on the Makana 100. But being smaller, the Makana is gonna be lighter. It's only 77 pounds fully loaded versus 106 pounds over here. I mean, just the drive here on the Old Town 106 PDLs is 18 pounds. The drive and the seat here is basically 11 pounds. So the seat and the drive on the Makana weigh less than just the drive from the Old Town. The Old Town seat is 6 pounds. You have two flush mounted rod holders over here on the Makana and on the Old Town. And I want you to appreciate something here. See how flush the rod holders are on the Makana compared to the one on the Old Town? Man, see, they thought about the design of this boat and they incorporate a lot of stuff that are seamless. Here, I mean, it's a trusted design, it's gonna work, boom. But that's cool. Now another win for the Makana here, see, You see this here? You got gear tracks in the rear. Old Town doesn't offer that. And let me tell you something, having gear tracks in the rear of the boat or on the tank well are very useful, and that's something I wish Old Town would add. Gear tracks right here. You could add your own. You have plenty of deck space right here to add, gunner space I should say, to add whatever gear tracks you want, but that will be an aftermarket. A lot of people like myself don't like drilling into stuff, even though of course you gotta drill in order to put the tracks, but you know, if it comes from the factory like this, look at this, it's flush, it's not out, you're not gonna get fishing lines caught up here, although you may get it caught up here, but you know what I'm saying. It's nice. If you do the gear tracks here, they're gonna be on top and all that stuff. Moving forward, I win for the 106. It has an extra rod holder, which is very useful when you're changing lures, when you need to put the rod somewhere quick so you could land the fish or whatever you need to. It has that. Here in the Makana, it doesn't have that. Now, going forward, and we're gonna touch on the seat later, but look at this. You have the deck space. You got gear tracks in the front, and you also got gear tracks right there on the 106 PDL. The seats, both seats are very, very comfortable, I should say. This fabric is nice. If I had to pick one in terms of comfort level, the Old Town one is gonna win for sure. And another thing that you have with the Old Town seat is that you have underneath storage. You see that? Cool. You don't have this here with the Makana. Accessory wise, you could put the perch here on top, and that's an extra sitting position that you're not gonna get with the Old Town. But this Old Town Sportsman seat is very comfy. It's a premium seat. They're gonna last you a long time, both of them actually. So if we keep going, you got an access point right here that you could use for whatever. I mean, maybe you want to put install plates or things right here at the back, you got access to inside the boat there. Maybe you want to put a battery, and then you have the rudder control system. Here Old Town has a little tension there, and Vive also sort of have the same thing. The win for the Vive here, the Makana 100, is that this rudder you could put it on the right, while the Old Town you're stuck on the left. Paddle holders, paddle keeper, you get one from Old Town. Here you got two, right? So I see a pattern here. I see a boat that was designed long ago and it works, but it's getting older. I think the 106 PDL needs a refresh design. Not to say there's nothing wrong with this boat. I love this boat. I will put anyone, like, if actually, as a matter of fact, you say, Ali, here's our new kayakers, where will you put that person? I will put it on the 106 PDL. Why? Because it is more stable, I would say, than the Makana. And Makana is very stable, by the way. But that drive over there makes a difference. This drive, they break, things break. The flipper breaks, things like that break. Like if you put a Nuva here, they never take it out. They may break this drive more often than they do this one. They may not, they do, because I've seen it. I have experienced it, and it's more of a like intuitive thing. It's just like a bike, right? I'm not poo-pooing on any of the boats. You can see that there's a lot of stuff going for the Makana, and there's a lot of stuff going for the 106 PDL, but I'm gonna tell you what I think, what I have experienced, both positive and negative. For me, new person off the street, like I just get someone who never seen a kayak in their life, I'm gonna put it on the 106 PDL, because again, I feel like it's a little more stable. That initial stability is there, the secondary stability is there, and the drive, just like a bike, they will know how to use it right away. And here they will need more training. It doesn't take long, maybe 30 seconds longer, but they may break something. Like definitely something is gonna break. And that's not to say that it's the drive, because the Hobie drive, all these things that I'm telling you are experiences that I have with my Outback, a Hobie product. Okay, you can see here that you got handles in the middle on each side, and you have the same here on the Makana. In terms of comfort holding, I will have to give it to Bai. I think this is more comfortable because I have the rubber thing in here and over here. Now in terms of like being able to move the seat all the way forward and back, I think the 106 PDL wins in here. Even though you have just a flat sitting position, you're able to bring the seat very close to the drive, so even a small child will have no issues pedaling this boat. Over here that's it. You cannot get any closer. You're gonna have to change the settings on the drive, and it gets to a point that if you put it right here on one, it's not as nice as if it was in the middle. That is definitely a win here for the 106 PDL if you need to get closer. If you're a big person, then you don't have any problem. You may be better off with the different styles that you have here. You have the recliner type of thing, and then you have the high sitting position. Over here there's just one position. You can see how the drive well is set up. Over here on the Makana, you could swap that out. You could take this out and put a flat deck surface. Like if you're just gonna paddle, you're not gonna take a drive, maybe you want to do that. If you just wanna put a Bisbee on the back and you're gonna motorize the boat and you don't want to use the drive, you could do that, and you have a flat deck, especially if you're fly fishing or you like to stand up a lot. So that's a win here. Over here, that's it. This is what you get. You're not able to change it. It is what it is. You got that giant hole that a lot of people don't like, but I don't have any problem with, because you're gonna get wet anyways, and the drive is very fast, right? So you got two pockets there. You're not gonna be able to put a full-size tackle box, but hey, that's fine. You can put it underneath. Over here on the Makana, you got two decent size area where you could put normal size tackle box. Something that the Makana has that is really nice is that you got dual cup holders, and one of those dual cup holders is actually where the transducer is gonna go through. You can put the cable through, and it has a little thing here to kind of like mold in that cable depending where you're gonna take it. I'm assuming you're gonna take it over here, but it's also protected underneath. And I'm gonna flip the boat over soon so you see that, because the one that we have here, the 106 PDL, also have transducer protection solution. You got one cup holder here, which is huge, and that's all you have. On the other side you have the rotor control, and again here you got two. Now depending how big your drink is, the 106 PDL may be a better cup holder, but hey, you know. So going forward, in the front you have a nice decent size hatch. And I normally don't like hatches like this in the front, but that hatch is very well done. It's super waterproof. Like, you're gonna flip this boat and not a lot of water is gonna go through it, because this thing is very well made. I mean, you could see all the waterproofing that it has, so that's cool, man. But again, I'm a fan of like sort of open deck type of designs where it's sort of flat, and I could put a cooler, or I could put whatever I want in there. Looking here at the Vive, you have this nice cover that you could put your paddle in here when you're not using it, or you could remove this cover completely if you don't want it. And underneath you have access to inside the boat to the boat yeah, to the inside the boat. In terms of handles, this right here, you got the handle thing, and over here the handle is kind of like in the boat a little bit. But what I like about this handle here is that underneath you got inserts, 1/4 inch inserts, and I'm gonna build a plate here to put a motor on it, and a trolling motor. And again, even though the Katana is very stable, still a 10-foot boat, it still digs in when you're up here. So I think if you're gonna put a trolling motor right here in the front, that's like gonna be like too much weight, and it's gonna be underwater, and you may mess up a trolling motor. But here on the 106 PDL, it stays above the water more. We're gonna touch on the drive at the end of this video, so don't skip to the end, because I'm gonna flip it over right now, and I'm gonna go over the bottom hull of this boat, and then we're gonna talk about the plus and minuses of each drive. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's bring the rudder down. I'm gonna put it on the side. Oh boy, it's gonna be hard to film this video like this. But I mean, you can see, right? This giant W hole there, those giant cavity. Look how thick this 106 PDL is compared to the Makana. Like the walls, boom. You see all those little different designs. This boxy design, that means it's gonna be more stable than this boat right here. The walls are higher. It's gonna take longer. It's gonna take a lot more for the water to actually come in the boat and flip you. Again, that doesn't mean this boat is not stable. You could watch the full stability test video. It is stable, but this one is more stable. And just to make it quick here, you see, this is what I was talking about. The transducer will go there, and there's pretty much, you could put any size transducer there pretty much for the most part. You'll probably make it work. The cavity is huge. And over here where the Makana is, this cavity is also big. Anyways, always look at the transducer side and compare it to what your boat could actually take. Reach out to the manufacturer, find out exactly what will work, because I mean, they do. I don't have every transducer in the market, I don't know, right? So look at this, very similar type of design in terms of those, what do you call that, like those lines that you see there. And you have the same idea here, although the keel on the 106 doesn't go all the way like it does here in the Makana, which is pretty much the length of the boat. Over here you can see that it's kind of like boom. Now in terms of speeds, it's a 10-foot boat. I mean, you could hit 5 miles an hour on them if you push it really hard. You could be cruising at 2.5 to 3.5 miles an hour on the boats, but you're not gonna win any race with them. I've been on the water with this boat while other people had 136 big water, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle because they are 10-foot boats. You don't buy any of these two boats if you're gonna be fishing offshore all the time. Maybe if you put a motor on it, well, that might change things, but like, you're not gonna be able to keep up with your friends. Let's put it that way. So what boat is better for you? I think that's something you have to answer yourself, because there are some things that each of them have going for them. For example, the Makana only weighs 77 pounds with the drive and everything. The 106 PDL is 106 pounds. If you don't want to carry a lot of weight, even if you get more stability, maybe you don't want to go for the 106, it's too heavy for you. Or maybe you want to do extra stuff, like you want to be more confident in the water, maybe you want to put a motor in the front, like whatever you want to do, maybe the 106 will work for you because it's bigger. The other thing is that the 106 PDL from Old Town, being bigger, it's gonna be able to carry more pounds, about 50 pounds more than you get with the Vibe. Another major deciding factor when it comes to buying a kayak is basically how much you want to spend. The Katana with the drive is $1,600. Well, this over here is around $2,500. It's a big difference in price. With that savings, you could do a lot. You could buy a lot of accessories that you need and things like that. Now, something that a lot of you are gonna say is that, well, one is made in the US and the other is not. The Katana is not made in the US. It's designed just like an Apple iPhone, not in California, but it's designed in the US and it's assembled in China. But your iPhone, the phone that you're using to watch this video right now, or even your computer, is not made here in the US. It's not fair to say just buy a US made kayak because it's made in the US. It's a plus, of course, because we want to support our local employers, but it's still, I mean, you're using a phone right now that it was not made here. So make of that whatever you will. The 106 PDL is made in Old Town, which is great, and I love it. I've been there. It's a nice place, and they put a lot of love into these boats. So this is something that is well thought out, is well made, and it's totally worth the price tag. Again, it may not be the right boat for you. Here, I think Vibe is trying, and I think they did a great job with this boat. Like, this is a boat that I will happily buy and use. I do recommend it because of the price and what you get out of it. But if budget is not stopping you, you can spend whatever money you want. I feel like the 106 will give you more. But at the same time, looking at it, I think it's due for a major upgrade, redesign. I think a lot of boats from the Old Town line, they're due for major upgrades, redesigns. But you could say that about the iPhone, right? And I keep going back to the iPhone. Like, Apple could do so many things to the iPhone to just make it feel like up to date, but they won't do it. Why? Because whatever they have going on works for a lot of people, and why change it if it works for a lot of people? The 120 video from Old Town is probably the best seller that they have because it's a bigger boat, but if you have something that is bringing you happiness to your customer, why change it, right? Although I do want things to be upgraded, and maybe they'll do it in 5 years. Now, I said that I was gonna talk about the drive, and I think I should do a very in-depth video covering pretty much all the drives that you have in the market today, from these drives that were used with the hobby patterns back in the day and the prop drives over here. My own personal opinion, and this is probably true for 10% of you, is that the prop drive for me are way better because they're easier on my legs. Like I could spend 2 days pedaling this thing and I could spend an hour pedaling this because it's just easier for me. But a lot of people claimed the opposite, that this is easier on their legs than this. Now in terms of speed, you're gonna get a faster drive right here, a more efficient drive right here, and it's because of the technology. If you compare this drive to a hobby drive, then there's different things that the speed, the technology is up to par, but this is using old technology. The other thing with this drive is that just be mindful that it's gonna break. You may have to replace the fins, you may have to replace the chains right here, but that's normal and that happens to everything, even the hobby drive. Over here in the prop drive, you're definitely gonna have to replace the props or the shear pit. The good thing about this drive, of course, is that it's pretty much weightless and you could use it on really shallow water, although sometimes it's better just to pull the paddle, but you could use it. And if you take it slow through the grass, depending on the grass condition, most likely you're gonna be able to get out of there and just keep pedaling like nothing. Well, this drive, you're probably gonna have to open it up, remove whatever's got stuck on the prop, and then go back on it. If you go through a shallow area, it's not like you could just put this drive like this and keep going. You're gonna have to pull this one up. But the main thing that the pro drives totally destroy, even the 180 drive from hobbies in this, is that you could go instantly in reverse. By instant I mean like you could just go in reverse, but there's always a delay. Like try yourself, you go forward and then you go in reverse. Physics, that you don't instantly go in reverse. The boat has to stop and then gain speed in reverse. Here, if you want to do that, you're gonna have to move the drive, take the drive out, flip it, put it back in, and instantly pedal in reverse, which if you train yourself you could do. So I don't think the lack of instant reverse on this drive is a killer. If you train yourself and your boat allows it, like this one, you're gonna be able to just swap it, flip it, and get out of the way. Like when do you really need that reverse? Always, I guess, because you want to be fishing a spot. But that's why you have anchoring solutions. That's why maybe you want to put a trolling motor in a kayak. Now I'm going to do a full in-depth video comparing all these drives, and that is going to be coming soon. I'm going to get pretty much all the drives that I have, and I'm going to compare it for you guys. Today I have a good one. We're going to be comparing the Old Town 106 PDL versus the Native Watercraft Slayer Propel Max 10 something something something. I'm going to give you everything in this video that I know about these two kayaks. I have them on the water, I know how they feel, and let's go. Let's start by saying that these two kayaks are US made kayaks. They're roto-molded, made in the US, so there's no difference between them when it comes to that, which is very, very special. The 106 PDL is made in Old Town, and the Native Watercraft I think is made in North Carolina. Comparing these two kayaks in 2023 makes it kind of like a harder fight for the 106 PDL to win, because I feel like the 106 PDL is kind of like outdated. It's missing things that new kayaks have. This 106 PDL desperately needs some like updates. Right now the price difference between the Slayer Max 10 and the 106 PDL is only $250. The Slayer Max is $26.99 and the 106 PDL is $2,449. It's not a major difference, and you do get a lot more goodies on the Slayer Max 10 versus the 106 PDL. Let's start this comparison with the drive. Both drives are proven, they last for a long time, very low maintenance, 5-year warranty, instant reverse. I don't think there's a clear winner between the two drives. The only thing I would add is I feel like it's easier to clear up the grass or whatever gets in that prop with the 106 PDL. If you're gonna hit shallow water, you just open that thing and bring it up without even thinking about it. Well, the Slayer Max, you're gonna have to align the prop, you're gonna have to do things to it. It's an extra step that you have to do that sometimes could be tricky. Also, the layout of the deck on the Slayer Max, having that little bump in the middle like that, is not as nice as sort of having kind of like a flatter deck. Also, the drive on the 106 PDL does have internal storage in there on the drive well that you could put maybe your phone, keys, things like that. You just put it there in front of you, your camera, and you don't have that with the Slayer Max. Another thing I don't like about the Slayer Max is they put a crazy handle right there in the front that when you bring that drive up, it's gonna stay there like it's a, it doesn't work. Now let's talk about the features, and this is where the Slayer Max just totally wins. I mean, let's go over them. In the front, you have a nice handle with a gear track. Put a camera mount there without having to go through a lot of trouble. You could also probably modify that to put a trolley motor there if you want. I did that on the 106 PDLs as well, so it's easy to do, but at least you have like a nice little handle there. If we move a little, just like a little up, we can see that the Slayer Max has a tray for a battery. It has the cutout for the cables and the transducer and all that stuff. It's thought out to be that way. Well, the 106 PDL, you do have a nice hatch, and you could get a battery bag and put it in there, and you could make it work, but it's not, it doesn't come from the factory like the Slayer Max. So people that want to be installing fish finders and things like that, maybe they want to go with the Slayer Max. And there's something else that Slayer Max has that it just screams like Old Town, update the 106 PDL. A Slayer Max 10, it offers rigging electronic plates. And this is amazing because let's say you want to put cables through the hull of the boat, but you're not sure where you want to put it. What if you make a mistake? You could just put it through those plates, and something goes wrong, you just replace the plate. A lot of times I don't want to do through hole installation on a boat or anything like that because I'm afraid to drill the wrong hole. But with these plates on each side, it makes it so much easier. Like, that's something companies should definitely take into account. And I understand the drawbacks, like maybe that's another place for water to come in, right? Maybe that's another thing to break, but it's nice to have. Another edge that the Slayer Max has is, look at this, it has full-size cavity to put your tackle boxes. The 106 PDL is kind of small, it doesn't quite fit in there, but the Slayer Max 10, you could take decent size Plano boxes and put it there, which is epic. Another advantage that the Max Slayer 10 has over the 106 PDL is, look under the seat. It has a tray that you could pull out and put and modify. You could even put dividers in there and throw in different type of thing. The 106 PDL just have a mesh. Sometimes it's very difficult to take that tackle tray out of there. Although I feel like the Old Town 106 PDL seat is more comfortable, it is also kind of difficult to work if you need to move position. Like, you have to lift those two handles and push forward, and sometimes if you remove the seat of the boat, you may lose the little things that you need to attach a seat to the boat. A Slayer Max 10 is on a gear track. It's easier to move the seat back and forward. One of the difficulties with that is that if you are in salt water, that connection with the knob might get a little tricky, maybe a little difficult to use. So it could give you some headaches. Also, the plastic may warp, and then it's gonna be difficult to put the seat back there after sometimes. I feel like the Old Town 106 PDL holds the frame better, so you don't have to worry about that. That will only be a problem, again, if you wanna be taking the seat off and putting it back. Let's talk about size. The 106 PDL is 10.5 feet long and 36 inches wide, versus the Slayer Max at 10 feet exactly long and 34 inches wide, which means the 106 PDL is gonna be more stable, and it should be a tad faster, but not really. When I had it on the water, both of them hit 5 miles an hour. Like, I think that's the top speed, but the Slayer Max felt better because it's a slimmer profile and it's also 10 pounds lighter. So it felt a little better on the water. Again, maximum speed 5 miles an hour, not gonna break any record because it's a 10-foot boat. But being a little wider, like I mentioned earlier, the 106 PDL is gonna be a little more stable. Also, the side of the hull, the W, also makes it a little more stable, which also allows you to carry more weight. The 106 PDL is able to hold 450 pounds versus the Max 10 at 400 pounds. So if you're a bigger guy, if you want to take more stuff with you, weight is an issue. You may want to look at the 106 PDL instead of the Slayer Max 10. If we move towards the back to the tank well, you're gonna get a better, longer tank well on the 106 PDL. If you need to take more stuff, the 106 PDL is gonna be a better choice for you. If you're gonna rig your boat to the max, the Slayer Max is gonna be a better choice for you. The Slayer Max in the rear offers a nice way to install a power pole or a motor that goes right there in the middle. And the rudder system is underneath the boat, so it's not gonna interfere with your stuff on top of the boat. And that is a win for that boat if you wanna put a motor on it. Because even though the 106 PDL does have a rear power pole mounting plate, it kinda looks to the side. It's not as nice to put a motor on it. It's not as clean as you would on the Slayer Max 10. But here, a thought that I just came back to me. If you're looking for just a PDL kayak, that's it. You're not gonna put motors on it. You don't really care about too much fish finder installation, none of that, just a simple one. To me, the 106 PDL is gonna be a better boat because it's just that, a PDL boat. That's all you need to focus on. It's solid, well built, a little more stable, costs less money. If you are like me and you wanna rig this thing to the max, and you want to add trolling motors and Bispes or Newport vessel, whatever, and you want to make it an easy installation and you want to have all the crazy setup with the fish finder, the batteries and everything, the Slayer Max is gonna be your boat because it allows you to do all that stuff easier. You could modify any kayak to do anything. You could install anything on any kayak. We're talking about how easy it is to actually get it accomplished. And the 106 PDL, you could do a lot because I added a trolling motor to the front and an outboard to the back. But let me tell you, if this was the Slayer, it would have been easier to do and probably would have worked out better because it's a boat designed to bring it on, bring everything on. I think, hey, who am I to talk about prices, but the Slayer Max should be priced maybe $500 more than the PDL, the 106 PDL. And that will make it a more compatible thing. But I feel like the Slayer Max may be underpriced, taking into account today's pricing and all the stuff that you get with that boat. Both offer you rod storage solution, 3 rod holders, flush mounted rod holders on the 106 PDL, and molded in rod holders on the Slayer Max. The Slayer Max 10 also offers horizontal rod holders, but it's a 10-foot boat. I don't know like who would do that. And also the way that the paddle is stored, you could cut it in half and put it on the back, which again, why would I do that? The Old Town 106 PDL does have a paddle keeper. Both of them have cup holders and all the little amenities that you need, like rear handles underneath the boat or on their gear tracks. They have all those things.